fighting. It was I can't really speak on it. I don't really want to speak on that fight because I don't want to take nothing away from Terrence Crawford or Earl Spence. So, I can dance around talking about the fight, but I would never badmouth these fighters that get in there and put it all on the line to take care of their families, take care of their friends, and they got a team that's behind them. So both of those guys went out there and they did what they had to do, and the best man won. But with Earl Spence being under the PBC banner, which a lot of times you hear fighters saying, I'm with PBC, I'm with Al Heyman, but I'm not with Floyd Mayweather. And I'm not talking about Earl. I'm just talking about in general. And I need every fighter to know this. If you're with PBC, you're with Floyd Mayweather, period. Okay? Period. You cannot bring up Al Heyman's name without bringing up Floyd Mayweather's name. We're one. With that being said, I want the best for Earl Spence. So, if I was training him or I was in his corner, I don't think he should be fighting at 147 at all. I don't even think he should be fighting at 154.
Really?
I think he should be fighting at 160 or 168.
Wow.
What it do? It's 903 Boxing. I'm your host, Charles J. Say, man, Floyd Money Mayweather. I'm just going to tell you, bro, and I'm just going to dive into it. I have no introductions. I'm just jumping straight to the shit. Man, I got so much to say. Floyd Mayweather. I've come to the conclusion, like, sometimes we forget. Sometimes we forget the greatness of a fighter. We just forget because we see other fighters and we get distracted at times and we just forget. That's why it's good to always do film study and go back and look at fighters. Floyd Mayweather, I'm finna tell you something. I've said that Tank Davis is the face of boxing. To a certain extent he is. But I'm finna tell you something. Floyd Mayweather is still the face of boxing. He's still the face of boxing, and I'm going to explain to you why. Because he's still the most hated. Floyd Mayweather is still the most hated. They still try to prove that Manny Pacquiao is greater than Floyd. Even though Floyd beat him, he had a greater career. He went through more wars. And so, they even try to rank Pacquiao ahead of him. Anyway, beat Cool Boy still. And if he go up and beat Shakur, not even Tank, if he just beat Shakur in the next couple fights, they're going to say he better than Floyd and Sugar Ray Leonard. That's a fact. They tried to say Loma was better than Floyd. Bob Arum said it. It's a lot of greats was putting Loma ahead of Floyd with 10 fights. They put him ahead of Floyd. I'm just gonna tell you, bro, Floyd. It's a lot of fighters that's underrated. Winky Wright, Mike McCallum, so many. Donald Curry. Did I just say it right? Yeah, Donald Curry. Michael Nunn. A lot of underrated fighters. The Hawk. Pryor. Very underrated. Aaron Pryor was so underrated. Very underrated. And like I said, Mike McCallum was highly underrated. So many fighters. Larry Holmes was so underrated. It's a lot of fighters that was very Andre Ward was underrated. A lot of fighters throughout the history of boxing that have been very underrated. Floyd Patterson was underrated. Sonny Liston, very underrated. Deontay Wilder, very underrated. But the most underrated fighter of all time, and I've never said this, Floyd Mayweather Jr. is the most underrated fighter of all time, and I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why he's so underrated is because no matter what he's done throughout his career, I'm finna tell you for the next 50 years, every fighter that looks good, they're gonna try to automatically say, you notice they don't never try to say these fighters are better than Sugar Ray Leonard. The first name they say is he better than Floyd. And I'm gonna make something very clear because I'm such a fan of Bud and Spence. I might have went too far with Bud's performance. Let me make this very clear. I think Bud and Spence, either one of them would be Floyd's greatest opponent. I think both of them better than Pacquiao. I think both of them better than De La Hoya, Diego Corrales. I think Spence and Crawford are better than anybody on Floyd's resume, and that's saying a whole lot. I think Bud would be his best opponent, but don't get it twisted. That don't mean you beat Floyd, Bud. That don't mean it. And I'm gonna tell you another thing: Floyd better than Bud. But even if he go up to 154 and beat Jamel, it's not better than Floyd. It's up there. It's neck and neck. I got Spence and Crawford just a level below Floyd. Floyd better. Floyd better. And I had to. Sometimes we get caught up in the excitement. They not better. Bud not better. Bud special. He not better. And he wouldn't beat him. Neither one of them would beat Floyd. I'm finna tell you some shit. They're gonna make you motherfuckers put your blood. Floyd could probably beat both of them right now. Floyd could come out of retirement right. I'm finna tell you the greatness of Floyd, and we don't talk about it enough. I said Ali is the greatest of all time, but you could argue Floyd was greater. You can argue. And the real reason why is because of Ali was different. He wasn't like no other. He was different. And his confidence as a man, especially in those times, his confidence, his arrogance, his value within himself, and the fact that he spoke how he felt. And he was on some black shit. A lot of that and the toughness of him, even when he was outside his prime, how tough he was. It's a lot of shit like that that makes Ali the greatest. But when you really think about it, nobody's career was greater than Floyd's. And everybody shits on nobody resume is shitted on more than Floyd's. There is no fighter in the history of boxing that's considered great, but their resume is more shitted on than Floyd. Everybody try to say Floyd fought everybody at the right time. Yeah, he fought. Sugar Ray Leonard fought a lot of people at the right. He fought Hagler at the right time. After that Mugabe performance, Mugabe damn near beat Hagler. Mugabe put Hagler through hell. I ain't gonna lie though, Hagler was a dog. To stop Mugabe, that was a hell, but it took a lot out of Hagler. That fight took a lot out of Hagler. And Sugar Ray Leonard seen that shit. And Sugar Ray Leonard, and I'm gonna tell you something, it's fighters that I think would have beat Sugar Ray Leonard. And I think Donald Curry was a bad style for Sugar Ray Leonard. Bad style. I think Mike McCallum would have gave him a lot of problems with that body work. Aaron Pryor would have been hell for Sugar Ray Leonard. It's a lot of fights that Sugar Ray Leonard didn't take. Michael Nunn would have gave Sugar Ray Leonard hell, especially when he was up in age. These fighters would have gave him hell. It's a lot of fighters Sugar Ray Leonard did not fight. This is why I got Ali on a whole nother level, because even outside his prime, he was still fighting the best. But anyway, it's a lot of fighters that kind of tiptoed a little bit. Sugar Ray Leonard tiptoed, and I'm finna say some other shit that I've never said. Floyd better than Sugar Ray Leonard. Better. He better. Sugar Ray Leonard was more talented. He had more talent, more speed. He was bigger. His feet was faster. He was more of a dog than Floyd. He was meaner than Floyd. But Floyd was better. For one, I hate to say this. For one, Floyd didn't use cocaine. I just had to throw that out there. No, he didn't use cocaine. Another thing he didn't do, you couldn't trick Floyd. See, Roberto Duran would have never tricked Floyd into a war. That's why a lot of people try to say Roberto Duran would have been too much for Floyd. You got me. Floyd was too smart, bro. He was too smart, bro, and Roberto Duran wouldn't have been able to hit him. Floyd Mayweather got the best defense in the history of boxing, and I'm going to tell you it's better than Pernell Whitaker's, in my opinion, because it's the effectiveness of it. Because Floyd wasn't just the greatest defensive fighter. It was his counters in the mix of your punches. He could catch you in between them shots. I don't know. Pernell Whitaker, Floyd, you could go 1 and 2. Sometimes I say Pernell, sometimes I say Floyd. But like I said, Floyd was better than Sugar Ray Leonard because, not just because he did do cocaine, but he was disciplined. He was very disciplined, and he was smarter than Sugar Ray Leonard, bro, and more of a disciplined fighter. That's the greatness of, and I'm finna say some other shit, and I got another video coming about this. Tommy Hearns, in my opinion, out of all the 4 kings, he had the most potential. He was really better than Sugar in the first fight, bro. He showed that he could outbox him, and he was hurt then from the 3rd or 4th round when Sugar Ray Leonard caught him. He was hurt all the way up to the 14th round. But Tommy Hearns, with his length, he had the highest ceiling of all the 4 kings. It's just that Sugar Ray Leonard, in my opinion, Sugar Ray Leonard had more flash. But Tommy Hearns, when you look at 6'2", with the reach advantage he had, with the power he had. If Tommy Hearns had just boxed and not got tricked into all these wars, he beats all these fighters. The reason why Tommy Hearns wasn't the best of the 4 fighters is because he wasn't disciplined enough. He wanted to show his heart. Let me tell you, that's why Floyd, like I said, Floyd was better because of his discipline. And and a lot of people pick Sugar Ray Leonard to beat Floyd in a fantasy match because he was so much bigger. I picked Floyd over all of them, bro, because Floyd was smarter. He makes the better adjustments, bro. And like I said, no, he didn't have the opponents like Hearns and Leonard and Duran and Hagler. He didn't get them kind of opponents, bro. But what Floyd did to dudes who was supposed to be this and supposed to be that, what he did to Diego Corrales, the way he made Oscar De La Hoya look like shit, the way he made so many fighters, the way he made so many fighters look like shit, bro. He don't get enough credit. He don't get enough credit, and I'm telling you right now, Floyd, nobody did it like him. Did he ever even have a black eye in a fight? Yeah, Cotto made him bleed, busted his lip. Have he ever even had a black eye? You know another thing about Floyd that makes him the most underrated and the most hated fighter of all time? Even after making all that money, and especially the black fans, a lot of fans, people try to still say he broke. He made more money than any fighter of all time, and people still try to say he broke because they can't stand it, bro. Boxing really can't stand it. Floyd pimped boxing. Floyd is the only fighter, the only black fighter, because Jake Paul pimping boxing right now. Floyd is the only black fighter besides Ali that ever pimped boxing. He pimped them. He pimped them, bro. He became the biggest star, and when they didn't want him to be the biggest star. They wanted Canelo to be the biggest star, and he said, you know what? I'm 36, but I still beat this motherfucking that, and he still didn't get credit for beating Canelo. Floyd different, bro. Sometimes we got to be reminded. Sometimes I get ahead of myself because he didn't fight a lot of black fighters, and Sugar Ray Leonard, they fought a lot of black, and I try to compare that, but Floyd was smarter. I trust the ring IQ and the smartness of Floyd. He was different, bro. But anyway, I done got so caught up in Floyd because I just feel like at this point, he is the most underrated fighter of all time. Because we always trying to put somebody ahead of him. 1 or 2 fighters have a good performance, we'll try to say he better than Floyd. Like they did with Loma, like they finna do with Anyway. But anyway, Floyd said the realest shit. Floyd just said what it really is. Like I said, and he said the same thing I feel. He said, I'm not trying to take credit away from Bud at all. I don't want to take credit from him because at the end of the day, you're supposed to come prepared. And if you're not right, that ain't Bud's fault. Bud did what he was supposed to do. But also, in my opinion, I truly question Derrick James like never before. When I look at everything that's happening over this last year, you picked up Ryan, then you picked up Joshua. You should have just kept Spence and Jamel and focused on them and Frank Martin. You had 3 black American fighters and you switched the game up, bro. Ryan is in the way. Joshua is in the way. It took a lot of your focus out of Spence, bro. This was the biggest fight of his career. And I'm going to tell you another thing. Remember that rumor came out that Spence was supposed to fight Keith, double E with the F at 154? I don't think that was a coincidence. I think Spence, and I think it make me look at Al and them a little different. I think Floyd was in Al ear and a lot of fuck Espinoza. But I think Floyd was in Al ear like, man, I know you want undisputed. They need to go and move up to 154. He need to move up and do Spence, the stubbornness of wanting to be undisputed at welterweight, bro. That shit costs you. Let me tell you something, but I don't blame Spence as much because he's a dog. He a fighter. You gotta save a fighter from himself. Derrick James, you didn't do that. You been in the limelight. I'm telling you something, bro. Shiny shit has always distracted Negroes. And Derrick James, you look like you're a very disciplined coach, bro. But that shiny shit, that shiny ass trophy, that award and all that accolades and shit, because you never really got those accolades as a fighter. But as a trainer, you've got it, and I think it got to your head. I don't know who else you're going to pick up in your state, but you don't got enough room, bro. I'm going to be honest, bro. You're not Emmanuel Stewart at this point, bro. Just work with the three. You should have just worked with Spence, Jamel, and Frank, bro. I don't think you ready for 5, like, headlining fighters, bro. That's a lot of time. So, I think you should have told Spence, listen, bro, if you're going to fight, Bud, you need to go to 154. I know you want an unspeak. You can't do it, bro. You cannot make this weight no more. And I'm not finna let you get in the ring like that. I think Derrick James, I really hold you responsible for a lot of shit. And I know it sounds like I'm being hard on Derrick James. You should have saved your fighter from himself. But I just think the accolades and the possibility of Spence winning undisputed and Jamil winning undisputed and how good it'll look for you. And I'm not saying you don't care about your fighter, but you should have paid more attention to him. I think you've been so distracted with other fighters. You didn't pay attention to your fighter. And you should have saved your fighter from himself. This is 903 Boxing. I'm your host, Charles J. With that, I'm out.